Howdy folks, welcome to the last video in this series on winterizing your boat. Just to recap, in the first video we went over treating the fuel system. Now in this video we're going to be going over changing the lower unit oil, greasing the prop shaft spline. We're going to check the water level in the battery and get the battery put on a desulfating charger. So let's go ahead and get started so we can get this project complete. Guys, to change this lower unit oil, I've trimmed the motor up just to show you what we're going to be messing with. The drain screw is down here on the bottom of the lower unit on a Mercury. That's our drain screw. Now up here, further up the lower unit, you'll see another screw just like it. That is our vent screw. When we remove that drain screw down here, it's going to, the oil is going to start coming out, but it's not going to run out fast. When we drop this vent, it's going to come out.
Just like changing the oil in your motor, you got to take the cap off.
Take the cap off
to get it to come out.
And because it is a sealed system. So we're going to get everything in place here and get this motor trimmed back down, and I'm going to walk Robert through change the lower unit oil. Alright folks, now that we've got the top end done on the motor, Robert's going to be doing the lower unit, and the first thing he's going to want to do is remove that fill screw, the drain screw down there at the bottom of the lower unit, and be ready for that to come out in your hand. You've got to be fast on this one because you'll want to do the last few threads by hand. Got it out?
Yep.
Alright, set that one there.
Now the vent.
And now the vent screw. And you can already tell some of the oil there. And that is a good sign right there. See how you really weren't losing any oil until you started undoing the vent screw?
Yeah, I was getting ready to ask that.
That shows that you do have a good seal in there. Now it is normal to see a little bit of water. If you start seeing a bunch of water, it's going to look like chocolate milk. Or you start seeing big chunks of metal, that's going to indicate problems with the lower unit. We'll let that drain out, and once that gets good and drained, we'll go ahead and get it refilled. And the boat outboard part of this will be complete, except for we got to take the prop off. So.
Hey everyone, while the lower unit is draining, let your oil drain out, we're going to go ahead and work on the battery. Get two things done at one time. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the caps on this battery because I want to check the water in it. Lay those to the side. You got to watch this because it will splash up on you some, and you don't want that. So now basically I'm going to look in and see how much water I got in there. So now that they're about right, I'm going to go ahead and put these caps back on.
Now I will add, if you had one that was really low, now would be the time to fill that, and you'll want to fill that with distilled water. If you use tap water has has minerals in it, different additives, and that will promote corrosion on your battery.
Okay, now we're going to put this battery on charge. This here is the Battery Reminder Plus with smart technology. It's a model 1510 if anybody's wondering. This is actually the desulfating charger. This will keep your battery charged as well as desulfates it. Now I'm going to go ahead and hook this up. Remember, positive on the positive. Remember, always hook it up before you plug it in.
And there it goes, and that's
going to It's going to cycle through your lights. Actually, if you look at when you look at it, the blue light will come on when it's desulfating, and your green light comes on and says charging.
Yep. If you look there, that flashing blue light, every time it does that, it's sending out a pulse, and that's helping desulfate that battery. Alright, now that that's had time to drain, and as you can see, it is draining a little bit more, but the overwhelming majority of the lower unit oil has drained out of it into the catch pan. And Robert is opening up the fresh quart of Mercury Quicksilver Premium Gear Lube.
Now I'm going to put
He's going to put this lower unit pump in. Now, if you have a smaller outboard, if you had a 10 or 20 horse, the pump is nice, but it's more or less overkill. You can buy tubes of lower unit oil and shove that tube up in that drain hole. But
okay, so now what do I do?
Something like this with enough capacity. that is going to actually thread into that drain hole.
Oh, it actually threads into it?
Yes, it will thread in there. So
There we
we're
go.
going to...
We're just going to pump it?
You're going to pump that. And having that clear hose, you're going to see your lower unit fluid start to go through.
How much do I know to put in here?
What you're going to do...
Do I do it until it comes out the vent?
You're going to be watching till it comes out the vent. And I'm going to do you a favor here real quick. What's going on? And I'm going to put your O-ring
On that screw.
I guess if I can... I'll see if I can get this on camera real quick.
This would almost be impossible to do without this pump, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want to do it that way.
I mean, for a motor this size, like you were saying, if it was a smaller motor,
'cause your oil capacity on this is close to a quart. So, all right, guys, I don't know if you can see that real well or not. I'll try to get it there. There is a little yellow O-ring, and there's one of those on the, and it may not be yellow, but there'll be one on the vent screw and the drain
there is
screw.
one. There's a yellow one on the vent screw.
And that's one thing when you do have these apart, make sure you always check those. If that deteriorates over time and that seal goes away, you're going to be allowing water into your lower unit, and you're going to, it's just a matter of time before
okay, it's coming out the top.
Are you coming out the top?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, there we go. You can see Robert's reached the point now where every time he's pumping, that thing is coming out the vent screw, and that should be good there. You're never going to get, yeah, there you go.
There we go. That's what I was trying to get all the air out,
Yep.
right?
He's got that bled, so go ahead and get your vent screw put in. That's the short one.
I'm going to take my gloves off for this.
If you do get those confused,
Vent's always the short one?
the drain screw is going to have a magnet on it,
Oh, does it?
because that's to pick up any shavings or pieces that come out. And Robert's going to tighten that down. This is one of those things that it does have a rubber seal, so you don't have to cram that. That's perfect right there.
Finger tight it.
And now comes the fast part. Let me get.
Ready?
Yep. You will lose a little bit of oil.
Okay.
You are fine.
Okay. Ready?
Yep. So Robert's going to be undoing that. Have that in your other hand.
Oh, I do see the magnet on there.
Yep. Get that up in there. Just got to get a turn or two by hand. All
Yep.
right.
You
Perfect.
didn't lose much at all.
You didn't lose much at all. Now let me get some shop towels here. We'll wipe that lower unit down. Get all that crap off there.
Yep. Take this
All
out.
right, so now Robert's going to take that out. And, whoop. Yeah, there you go. Just kind of pump that back to... There you go. Got the pump cleared. Here's some more towels if you need some.
This thing's a lifesaver, that's for sure.
Yes, that thing is.
Hold on just a second.
And the best part is
There's a yellow cap somewhere I left. Here it is.
Those things, they're not that expensive. They're usually about $5 or $6.
I think this was $4.97 at Walmart.
And they are worth 5 times what they charge
Oh yeah,
for
you
these.
could have done it without that.
So that is the easiest way to change your lower unit oil. So the last thing we have to do is we're going to take the prop off, and we are going to grease the prop shaft splines. And let's go ahead. We'll get everything put back together here. Get the motor trimmed up a tad so we can actually see what we're doing, and we're not having to get on the floor. And y'all might start hearing a hissing sound in the background. Just realize I'll even show you what I'm doing. It is really cold. Robert picked probably the coldest day so far this year to do this.
We got a storm coming in.
We've had this planned for a few days now, and we had a cold front go through a few days ago, and it got cold. So I'm going to be firing up this little propane heater and try to take the chill off the air. So if you do hear that running in the background, that's what it is. So give me a moment here, and let's get the motor finished up. And since Robert's done the battery already, we're going to be wrapping this whole video up. All right, folks. This next part is very sophisticated. There's a specialty tool that you have to have. You need your block of wood. A 2x4 works. In this case, I had to chuck a 2x6. I was doing some work on my boat yesterday. And what we're going to do with that is going to go up here and give the prop something to wedge against that's not going to damage the prop.
Yeah.
So you don't want to shove a piece of metal up there. So before you do that,
We don't know the other direction.
yep. But see, you've got some tabs, and I'm going to zoom in on those.
You bend these tabs out.
You're going to bend those tabs out. Yep. And 3. There you go. That's all of them. Now what we'll do, we'll get that piece of wood put in. And a 2x4 would be nicer in this case, but I don't have one handy, so there you go. You see, that comes off really easily. And now you're going to pull your prop nut. Just set that. We'll set our yellow thing down here. We'll put everything in there. Your prop nut, your castle water. Now what you're going to do is just take and put you, no, you're going to go onto your finger.
Oh, okay.
Just give it 2 or 3 good pumps, get some grease going. There you go, that's going to be plenty.
Okay.
And you're going to wipe that on that prop
Okay.
shaft.
Yep.
Yep.
I see what you're saying.
Yep. To try to keep it off the threads.
Thread.
Yeah, just on the spline. And I'll turn that around so you can get the other side there.
Is that good or do I need more on it?
No, you got plenty.
Okay. Now what else?
So you got that on there. Yep, good stuff there. Now you are ready to put your prop back on.
I need greasing the wheel?
Nope, that's
Okay.
all you're doing there is just basically making it where this prop isn't going to seat up onto this prop shaft, and you have to feed that thing off there one day.
So now I'm going to watch when I put this back on, make sure that your numbers are on
the
facing
back.
down, the back side. Slide this back on and make sure I got it in the right direction.
There you go. And drop it in. Now you're going to drop your castle nut on there.
Basically, I'm moving to reverse what I did to take it off.
First, what you did to take it off. And I'm going to be the good assistant here. And I'm going to hold the specialty tool, block of wood. And hope that Robert doesn't do something to take the finger off the prop. Now we're going to take our screwdriver and a hammer and just tap down about 3 of those tabs. Get those good and down there. That's going to keep that thing from backing off. Alright, that one's done.
They're good enough.
Yep, and that one there. And try to keep them, about 1/3 of the way around from each other. And they should drop into that hub about where they belong anyway. Alright. Should have one more right there to drop in. There we go. Well, folks, there you have it. That's this outboard and boat are winterized, and they are ready to be put up until the springtime when Robert gets his boat back out. Just to recap, we've changed the lower unit oil. We've sprayed the carburetor bodies down with Seafoam Deep Creep. We have sprayed Seafoam Deep Creep into the cylinders. Rotated the motor to get that seafoam worked onto the cylinder walls. The fuel system in this already was treated with a fuel stabilizing agent. If it hadn't been, we would have had to do that. But guys, it never hurts just to do that. Every time you fill up, just go ahead and put your stabilizing agent in.
That's what I do.
We removed our prop and greased the splines. That way the prop doesn't take up residence on that prop shaft. And we have checked the water levels in the battery and put the battery on a desulfating charger. So Robert, you are good to go until the springtime. Guys, appreciate everything. If you have any questions, put them in the comments section. I'll be happy to answer them for you what I can. When it does come down to motor specific things, I will highly recommend you purchase a service manual for your motor. C-Lock makes a decent one that usually will cover a broad range of motors, but your manufacturer will have a service manual specific to your engine, and those cost more, but those will document every little thing that you would ever want to do to this. So guys, that'll take care of this video. I hope I've helped you all out, and Robert, you'll be good to go. You'll be in good shape come springtime. This boat's going to fire right up for you. So
thank you very much,
guys. Take care. We'll catch you out on the water. Thank you for watching the Weekend Angler.